All right, so I'm live here with episode 2 of OpenAI, Assimilate OpenAI. Um, Apologies if there was a confusion about time. Don't know what happened, but I'm back here. So I'm gonna just start live coding and building more and more intense projects. So really in like a real world kind of fashion. And to get started with, I'm going to just share my screen here, get right into it. And in order to get started here, I'm going to first set up an environment. Let me just double check. I think I had one already for OpenAI, like Assimilate. So, yeah, here we go. Assimilate. Let's look in this repo here. Assimilate. Yeah, perfect. This is exactly what I want. So, what I will do inside of this repo is start to build like very real world stuff here. And so I'm going to go to my code environment here to launch a code space. I think this is one of the better ways to get started with building stuff. Now, a couple things to keep in mind about actually about building a real world project is that most likely what you're going to want to do is actually have some kind of secret installed in your project with GitHub code spaces. And so first, let's just make this thing good here. Let's change the color, get it all working, and make this a little bit better. Not that big, a little bit less big. And for me, a couple things I'll do is look at what version of Python. Okay, that's good. And let's take a look at OpenAI here because OpenAI because let's see what their SDK says. So if we go to here and I log in, um, I want to see what they recommend for versions of Python. So we can just go to the quick start tutorial and we see all that. Da, 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 da. And we okay, but what I care about is build your application. This is what I care about. So they're going to recommend there's a quick start here, add your key. So what we could do is we could copy one of the API keys and set it as OpenAI key in your newly created .env. And then when we activate, so cp-env example to .env, understand the code and in closing. So we could do this. We could definitely do this. So what I would do then is I would need to set it as OpenAI in your environment. I think what I can do is create this as a secret inside of my code space. So let's try that. So I'm going to go to this environment and I'm going to leave it open and I'm going to open up a new window. And I'm going to go to this location. I'm going to go to the repository. I'm going to go to Assimilate AI. I'm going to go to my settings. And what I want to do is go to security and see where it says secrets. I want to create my OpenAI secret in here. So the advantage of doing this is presumably that I don't know what this is, Arc container registry password, but I'm going to go ahead and create this one, repo secret, and I'm going to do that. Now, I don't want to do this in a live demo, so I'm going to do this in another. I'm going to do it in another window that I'm not going to show. So basically, I'll just leave this here for a second, and I'm going to go back to OpenAI and do this in another window. So let's do this. But the idea here is that you set up your secrets so that you can use it in your project. And if I go to my API and I log in, I would just go to find my secret real quick. And I could even throw this here so that it doesn't tempt me to build it. And we will go to API keys, and I can just copy one. And I need to remember again what it says, which it says this. This is what I care about right here. There we go. So in theory, now if we go back here and I refresh, look at this. We got a secret there. Okay, so what should happen is, look, yeah, CodeSpace will say, yeah, you have secrets, yay. Like, right. So I can just reload this. Now I'm not going to print this out again because I'm in a live demo. So I don't want to give people it's not that big of a deal. I would just delete my API key. But in this particular environment, we got everything loaded. We have a make file here. We have requirements, right? So I could try to build out some kind of an example and see if it'll work. So let's copy. Do they have like a little starter example here? I guess they do here. So we could take a look at their quick start and just riff off of it real quick. What do they got? So they got an app. They got requirements. Woo. That's a lot of stuff in their quick start. Let's see what else we got in the app. It's not too bad. No, I don't really want to do Flask though, but I can steal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just steal the for now. I just want to do basically a script, and so this is also maybe a good skill to learn about. When you're working with something, is you don't have to do exactly what they're telling you to do. You can just riff off of it, and what I can do is just take the parts that I want. So let's grab this to start with, and I'm going to make say touch quick start this, and then I'm going to just kind of iteratively get some of this stuff working, and I also could use some of these tools that they've got set up now. I could see if some of these will help me be a better programmer. Quick starts, or just say asterisk.p. Quick start. Let's keep it simple. So if I say make lint here, there we go. Look, it says there's stuff you don't need, right? So it's helping me be a better programmer. So I don't need this stuff. I don't need Flask. I don't need this. No, I do need this, right? So I need these two imports, and see the OpenAI key. Look, it's going to get it from my environment, which is the secret that I created earlier, which is pretty cool. And so now what I'll do is that I will just say Python start. No module named OpenAI. Well, let's look at the requirements. I see it. So let's install it. Let's make install. And I have a make file that does like an installation step. That's what that does. All right. So we got this thing cooking here. Great. So now if I do quick start, yes. Okay, so I got a little bit of something running. The next thing that I'll do is I need this really, which is pretty small. I just need to put in some code that will create a prompt for something, I believe. And if I go to generate prompts, suggest 3 names for an animal that's a superhero. Okay, so this is just a little function here. I see. So if somebody puts an animal, so I think I can work with this to make it even simpler than a web app. So I don't want that. I just want the this. In fact, we can do raw. We want this. Here we go. So I have a prompt here. In fact, let's move this up to make it a little more like logical, like this. That. And I can even, I don't know, put that right there for now. And so generate prompts, animal. So the only thing I don't have here is the animal. So I could for now just hard code it, and I could just put in um like horse like that. So basically this is just to kind of kick the tires here. And so generate prompts. And variable animal. Generate prompts. So what am I missing here? What is, oh, it's because, is this even, there's no, is it like a global variable? Is that what this is? What is going on here? So we have animal is passed in. I see, and then we pass the animal into the generate prompt. Okay, so it's basically should just um it should all be like together is what's going on. So we would do this. That, I think, and we can do Python black, so we can say make format. Let's clean it up a little bit. And all we care about is we just say horse or something like that. Now let's see if a lint says invalid syntax in 21. So what did we screw up? So that looks good. That looks good. Huh. It's this is a little bit generate prompts. Yeah, it's the code is tripping me up here because I it shouldn't be this complicated. I might even need to go to the tutorial here and just see like disemboweling this thing is for whatever reason, if it's late in the day or whatever, is stymieing me when I really just need something very, very simple. Let's try to decompose this thing. And response, generate prompts. And so I think we could just do something like this. Animal equals, and I thought, couldn't I just do this? Couldn't I just say suggest 3 animals that are hero like that? Dot, dot format. See that's kind of annoying. I don't use that style of Python. Let's do this. How about that? So we got triple quotes. I think this is what we want, right? Which is basically create the prompts, and then we want this thing to feedback that out, and then we print out the response. That took me longer than it should have, but I think this would work. It's undefined generate prompt will just be animal, right? Yeah. So this is just kind of maybe more complicated than it needs to be, the code. There we go. There we go. I like it. Okay, so I made something that was kind of hard into something that's more hello world, right? Procedural straight code here. And if we look at the results, what did it give me? It said super mouse, mighty pigeon, incredible hamster. So what we could do as well is we could get rid of a lot of that, the output. Like, do we really care about any of that? We really just care about choices um, here. Choices. So let's start with that. See if that works. There we go, getting better. And then it gives me back an object, which I don't want. But couldn't I just do this? What does that do? There we go. And then I could just do text. There you go. This is what I want. I want lazy stuff. Text. There you go. There you go. Super monster, mighty hamster, incredible gerbil. So yeah, not bad. So you can see you can start to build some really cool stuff. I personally don't think the web app is the first thing to start with. I think the command line tool is the first thing to start. So that's, I think, a good place to start, because I'm going to build a lot of stuff with OpenAI, and we'll start off with this. So I'm going to say get status, check all this in, and we'll commit this, adding my code, right? So I love the secrets worked. So it's pretty sweet. So what can we do to clean this code up now that it's past quick start? And do I even want to do this as a demo? Sure, why not? But I would say we need click. So we do click here. We need to go to requirements. Got click. Okay, that's cool. And I could even do a pip freeze here. So freeze. Yes. We could just see like certain things. That's a test. Um, PyTest here, which we haven't even used yet. So not that it matters that much. We don't necessarily want to include IPython. And we do want OpenAI, which is this. And for click, we do want that. Okay, so that's good. We got that locked down. And I'll again add this, adding pinned versions. Now to tweak this thing, and I also can do make format, make sure code formatted. It did change it a little bit. So it's procedural code, but we should change now that we're going to make a command line tool. What we need to do is we need to tweak this a little bit here, and what could we do? This is a little bit of a tricky one because this is not conducive to command line tool. Let's see what other things we could build. Um, I would say text completion might be a little better. Like a conversation kind of a thing might be better. Yeah, let's go to the playground here. So let's look at examples and text to command. So translate text into programmatic commands. No, I think we want something that's more like a chat bot kind of functionality. And ads, bots. Open-ended conversation with the AI assistant. This is a little better, I think. Maybe. Is a conversation with the AI assistant. How are you? Open-ended. Let's try this. This could be good. So what's the prompt? The following. Stop sequence. Let's play with this. Let's see how this would work. Human submit. And if I look at the code, start sequence AI, restart sequence human. So let's try this. Let's see if I can get this to work. I think this would be. We'll leave this one here because it works. But let's try to do a let's build a chatbot. So we'll say touch chatbot CLI. Chatbot CLI. There we go. And into paste. Import OS. We got that. Start sequence. The following is conversation. The assistant is helpful and very friendly. Hello, who are you? Hello, how can I help you? And then now what is the input that I would pass in here? Stop response. Yeah, what I don't get though, well, I may have to play around with this a little bit. So let's try. So I'll just say Python chatbot. What does it do? Nothing. Okay. So what's the next step here? Response. I'm assuming that the response object does something. So this is where IPython probably would come in more handy. And what I would do is just grab this and just throw it into IPython. And then I would take response and just, what is this? So we have response, finish. I would say what though? Would I say complete? You can do. So we need to look at the API. Yeah. Okay. So use good judgments, enter instruction, and watch the API respond with completion. So let's go. I don't see any. I need to look at the API here. API introduction. So we have this. Okay, we have this. Making requests, authentication, models, requests, completions, max tokens, request body. I don't see. How about text completion, prompt design? completion. The prompts generate completions for a string. Yeah, interesting. I'm definitely having some issues finding a Hello World example. Introduction, building your application. We see this. Would it be? Let's look at Python. Would it be generate prompts? Read our completion guide. Read our completion guide. Let's see this. No. Huh. Yeah, interesting. Well, I'll figure it out. So I think this is what I would do, but I don't know. Response dots. So we have a response. Oh, dot create. This is the prompts. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet exactly what's going on. I'll have to take a look at this. So I guess the big thing for me to figure out is I can tee it up. Um, but I can't get it to go beyond this. So if we said response dot and predict, what do we got in this object? We got API. Whoops, we don't want that. Whoops, I didn't want to show my API key, which I guess I have to nuke now, which is kind of a bummer. So don't print out your response objects. Now I have to nuke my key here, which is fine. I'll create a new key. We'll create a new secret key. We'll nuke the other one. There we go. So if you print out the response object, it will print out your key, which is not a big deal. It just means that I have to get more clever in the future. And there we go. So if I update my environment, it's actually pretty slick. Look at this. Look how easy it was to change out my key. But the main thing that I need to figure out here is how to get around this issue with the response object. Now, yeah, I really don't understand here. So we got model, open AI create response. I mean, maybe I just need to again play with this in my Python and just copy. So I'm going to start with this, and then I'm going to make this prompts, which is the response object. And if I say response dot outlet, sure I can help you cancel the subscription. Response. Would I do another prompt maybe? I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of hard to understand exactly exactly how to go through this without seeing more Python guides here. I guess I could just read the documentation and see. We've got this, making requests, models, we got this, completions. So given a prompt, the model will return one or more predicted completions. And so the prompt to generate completions Note that the end of text is a document separator that the model sees during training. How many completions to generate for each prompt? Echo, best of. I mean, this looks promising, but so once you get a response object, so I guess this is just stuff once you understand it, it'll become really clear. I just don't know the API yet. Is object. If we say response dot, I don't see the. Oh, there's some things here. So we got. What do we got? We have get items. We don't want keys. Open the ID. Typed. I mean, let's go to Google. Open AI Python example. Let's see what we can find here. Let's look at the code. What do we got? We got this. Create a completion. Okay, so this looks maybe a little more simple. The library needs to be configured. So we did that. List engines, print the engine's ID, create a completion, prompt hello world. Okay. The library provides OpenAI command line. Oh, that's interesting. OpenAI completions. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. So what else can we do? Fine tuning. Examples of how to use embeddings. What I care about is the completions. OpenAI cookbook. Where's that? Ooh, here we go. OpenAI cookbook. This is what I needed. So I want text. Explain, write, question generation. Okay, we get all this. This is the cookbook. We got all that. Yeah, what's down here? Let's see here. We have all this stuff. And compare code. Let's try this. I just need to see some actual code in order to get this thing to run. We index our own OpenAI repository. We get all the functions. We get all that. Get embeddings. We go through here. Get the similarity. Let's just look through the actual code. What do we got? So we got clustering code search, zero shot classification, question answering might be good. What do we got here? We got this. Okay, we got a prompt. Let's do this. Let's keep things simple here because I think I need to move to something much easier. I think I'm just making things too complex for myself, and so I'm going to abandon ship with this one, and I'm going to make another one, and we'll call this Q question answer. How about that? So I like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in, and we're going to use this cookbook. We don't need pandas. Why would we need pandas? This is ridiculous. I just need, and all I need is this. So I'm going to grab this. Prompt. So we'll import OpenAI. Import OpenAI. We'll need to put this in there. So, and for the model, let's try that. Model completion model. Let's try that. And let's just run it. Does that work? Import OS. Okay. Okay. I would say result. Let's make this a result. If this works, then I at least can make a command line tool today, which would be awesome. Let's do that. Ooh, okay. Now we're cooking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click, and what we can do is just build in a function that says submit question this, and this will be text. We just throw all this inside of here, and I always forget there's a indentation. Edit. Where's my indentation? Run. Well, would have been nice to indent this, but I don't know how. Tab it. Tab it. Here we go. This. There we go. So we got a result. We can just say this submits question to the open API. There we go. And then it will return back the result because we're going to make this into code. And then things get pretty simple at this point. All I have to do is use our AI to write AI, writes a main function that invokes submit question. Did I not install this? Let's do open Copilot. Copilot. Here we go. Copilot. And I'm assuming Copilot will be pretty smart here. Let's okay. Where is it? That will okay. Let's see what it does. Click arguments. Okay. Def main. Print submit question. That's not exactly what I want. Write a main function that. But I mean, that's kind of what I want. But let's do this. Let's say like if render name equals. There we go. So I wrote that for me, which is pretty cool. But we don't think I have to look at some code I wrote. Quick main submit question text argument. I guess it would do that. Yeah, that's all I got to do. Wow. It's pretty smart actually. And we can just put some, this is the main function that you ask a question. And then do like example. Oh, whoa, look at that. It even writes my example for me. Okay, so now is it this smart? Let's see if my Copilot is a smart. Pretty cool. Not bad. I'm gonna make it executable. Question answer. So what this means is that if I do question answer CLE and I do help, it'll give me my docs right here, and it'll say, look, you can actually build this out by asking a question. Who is the worst United States president in history? Okay. Oh, because this is wrong. we need to say prompt will be text. Yeah. And we can also say make lint. Perfect. And now we can ask our inconvenient question. Whoa, Buchanan. Didn't know that. So the worst United States president generally considered Buchanan. He was in office and is often blamed for not doing more to prevent the Civil War. Interesting concept. Who is the worst president in the last 100 years? Let's try that. The worst U.S. president in the last 100 years is Jimmy Carter. I don't know about that. I mean, Jimmy Carter seems like a pretty chill dude. How about this? In the last 20 years, 20 years. I'm trying to go a certain direction here. George Bush was not good. That's true. Interesting. So let's see here if can ask some other things like what is the meaning of life? So let's see what this bot tells us. There's no correct answer. Why do people like dogs? There you go. Dogs provide companionship and unconditional love. They're also loyal and protective of their owners. Here's another one. What are the top 5 traits of fascism? I always misspell fascism. Let's Google this. Fascism. The top 5 traits of fascism. I just read a book about Italian fascism. Let's try. Authoritarianism, nationalism, militarianism, anti-communism, anti-liberalism. Huh. Boy, that sounds quite familiar. But apparently this is I'm curious where it's pulling the sources from. What about anarchists? What is that? Anarchists. Cryptocurrency. Probably live in maybe in the Bay Area. Let's see, top 5 traits. Passion for social justice. I don't know about that. Interesting, but it's interesting to see the kind of different things that this thing can come up with. Now, this model is text DaVinci 2. If we go back here, what are the different models that are available to us? Let's see if we can swap it out for like a really, like, what are the models? GPT-3 this is the most capable GPT-3 model. Very capable, but faster. So I guess we're using the fanciest one, right? GPT-3. But cool. I mean, this is not bad. So I'm going to check this in. Now people can have their own command line tool that can interface with GPT-3. So I'll put this into the docs here. We'll put some application that says an OpenAI and say this uses an advanced GPT-3 model, and I also used AI via GitHub Copilot with this code. We're in a weird world. We have some cool stuff available to us. Okay, so let's do git status. Add this, adding code for GPT-3. Perfect. There we go. We got this thing working. So if other people want to play around with this thing, they can get access to it here. So one of the coolest things I guess I've built so far, like kind of useful tool here for people if they want to interface with OpenAI and build it themselves. So thank you to everybody that showed up today. I think that's a good place to stop. And I'm going to just keep building tools every week and get deeper and deeper on OpenAI.